Thanks for clicking this story. Don't forget to subscribe as you enjoy it. Biola stood at the gates of the University of Lagos, her heart racing. She had always dreamed of this moment, the chance to leave behind the dusty streets of Ibadan and step into a world of possibility. With a scholarship in hand, she was ready to begin a new life. The bustling campus was filled with students talking and laughing, a mix of excitement and determination in the air. Biola smiled, taking it all in. This was only the beginning. Her mind raced with hopes and dreams. She imagined a life filled with success, happiness, and endless opportunities. The struggle and hardship of her childhood seemed so far away now, as if she could finally leave it behind. Little did she know, a new chapter was about to begin, one that would change her life forever. It didn't take long for Biola to meet Dayo. She first noticed him in the library, sitting at a table, his eyes focused on a stack of architectural books. He was handsome, with a charming smile that could melt anyone's heart. He looked up and their eyes met. Biola felt a jolt of something she hadn't expected, an electric connection. "Hi," Dayo said, his voice warm and inviting. "Are you also studying architecture?" Biola smiled shyly. "No, but I've always been interested in it." Dayo laughed softly. "Well, if you ever need help, I'm here." From that moment on, they became inseparable. They spent hours studying together, their late-night sessions filled with laughter, deep conversations, and moments of silence that spoke louder than words. As the days passed, their friendship blossomed into something more, a whirlwind romance that took both of them by surprise. One evening, as they walked through the campus grounds, Biola and Dayo found themselves sitting by the campus fountain. The moonlight shimmered on the water, and the soft breeze carried the sounds of distant laughter. Biola felt like she was in a dream, the world around them fading away as Dayo took her hand. "I don't want to leave," Biola whispered. "Not this moment, not you." Dayo's smile softened. "You don't have to leave. I'm right here with you." They shared a gentle kiss under the African moon, a moment of pure connection. It was a promise of love and happiness, a promise that Biola believed in with all her heart. They were destined to be together forever. Biola and Dayo's love story was one for the books. Their wedding day was a beautiful celebration of love, family, and culture. It was a vibrant mix of traditional Nigerian customs and modern elegance, a perfect reflection of their unique journey together. The ceremony was held in a grand hall, filled with flowers and the sound of joyous music. Biola, dressed in a stunning white gown with intricate beadwork, walked down the aisle, her heart full of hope for the future. Dayo, looking every bit the handsome groom in his traditional attire, smiled as he watched her approach. It was the happiest day of their lives. But little did they know, the road ahead would not be as smooth as they had imagined. Years passed, and Biola and Dayo settled into married life. Yet, there was a growing silence between them. The joy of their early days began to fade, replaced by an unspoken tension that neither of them knew how to fix. The whispers from family and society grew louder. "When are you having children?" they would ask. "Your clock is ticking." Biola could feel the pressure mounting, but she didn't know how to fix it. She had tried everything, but no matter what she did, the silence only deepened. Dayo seemed distant, preoccupied with his work and the expectations of others. Biola tried to stay hopeful, but deep down, she was starting to fear that their love story was slipping away. One evening after a long day, Biola came home to find Dayo sitting on the couch, his face etched with frustration. He didn't greet her as usual, and she could sense that something was wrong. "Dayo, what's going on?" she asked, her voice trembling. He stood up, his expression cold. "I can't do this anymore, Biola. I need you to leave." Biola felt like the ground had been ripped from beneath her. She stared at him in shock, unable to comprehend what he was saying. "Why?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. Dayo looked away, unable to meet her eyes. "I'm tired of pretending. I'm tired of feeling like a failure. You're not giving me the one thing I want, children. And it's tearing me apart." The words felt like a dagger in her heart. She couldn't understand how he could do this to her, to them. She had tried so hard, but it wasn't enough. Biola left their home that night, her heart shattered into 1,000 pieces. She wandered the streets, not knowing where to go or what to do. The vibrant woman who had once dreamed of a future full of possibilities now felt lost and broken. She rented a small room in a quiet part of the city, a far cry from the grand life she had once imagined. The walls felt too close, the air too heavy. Every night, she would sit in the dark, staring at the ceiling, wondering how everything had gone so wrong. Biola found work as a seamstress, using her skill to create beautiful clothes. The work was hard, but it allowed her to survive. As she sewed, she poured her pain and heartache into every stitch. With each design, she tried to rebuild her shattered life. Yet, the loneliness was always there, gnawing at her. One day, while working on a dress for a client, Biola met Adebayo. He was a tailor, known for his unique designs and generous spirit. Adebayo noticed her work and admired her talent. Please don't forget to subscribe as you enjoy this story. Thank you. Your designs are beautiful, he said, his voice kind. You have a real gift. Biola smiled, grateful for the compliment. She hadn't expected kindness in this new chapter of her life. Adebayo wasn't just a colleague. He became a friend. He listened to Biola's story, his eyes filled with understanding and empathy. He didn't judge her for her past or her struggles. Instead, he saw the strength within her. Sometimes life doesn't go as planned, Adebayo told her one evening as they sat in his small shop, sipping tea. But that doesn't mean we can't make something beautiful out of it. His words touched her deeply. For the first time in a long while, Biola felt seen. Not as a woman who had failed at marriage or as someone defined by her pain, but as an individual with potential and dreams. Adebayo's belief in her sparked something in Biola. She began to dream again, not of a life filled with children or a perfect marriage, but of a life where she could be free to pursue her passion. Adebayo encouraged her to start her own fashion boutique, a place where she could sell her designs and make a name for herself. At first, Biola was hesitant. She wasn't sure if she was ready to take such a big step. But with Adebayo by her side, she found the courage to take the leap. She gathered her savings, rented a small shop, and opened her boutique. Starting the boutique was not easy. Biola worked tirelessly, designing clothes and trying to attract customers. Some days were filled with doubt and frustration, but she refused to give up. She had already lost so much. She couldn't let this dream slip away too. Adebayo was always there, offering support and encouragement. "You're doing great," he would tell her. "One step at a time." Slowly but surely, Biola's designs gained attention. People began to notice her unique blend of traditional Nigerian patterns with modern styles. Her boutique became a success, and her reputation as a talented designer grew. As Biola's business flourished, so did her relationship with Adebayo. He was more than just a friend or business partner. He had become her rock. His love was unconditional, never asking for anything in return except her happiness. Biola felt a warmth in her heart that she hadn't felt in years. She no longer needed children or the approval of society to feel whole. With Adebayo, she was enough. He cherished her for who she was, flaws and all. One evening, as Biola sat in her boutique, reflecting on everything that had happened, she realized how far she had come. She had once been a broken woman, consumed by the pain of her past. But now she stood tall, her heart full of hope for the future. Her boutique was thriving, her designs were being worn by women across the city, and most importantly, she had found love again. Adebayo had helped her rediscover herself and rewrite her story. She was no longer defined by her heartbreak, but by her strength and resilience. Though Biola and Adebayo never had children, they created their own version of family. They surrounded themselves with friends, clients, and the community they had built together. Adebayo's unwavering support and love had given Biola the strength to build a new life, a life that was fulfilling and full of joy. One day, as they sat together in their favorite spot by the fountain on campus, Biola looked at Adebayo with a smile. "You've given me everything I needed," she said softly. Adebayo squeezed her hand. "And you've given me everything I never knew I needed." Biola's boutique continued to grow, and her designs were now worn by some of the most influential people in the city. But it wasn't the fame or the success that mattered to her. What mattered was that she had found peace within herself. She had learned that success wasn't about meeting society's expectations, but about finding happiness in who you were and what you loved. Biola had created a life for herself, one stitch at a time. As the sun rose over the city, Biola stood at the window of her boutique, watching the world come alive. She had faced heartache and struggle, but she had emerged stronger, more beautiful than before. With Adebayo by her side, she knew that anything was possible. The future was bright, and Biola was ready to embrace it, no longer bound by her past, but free to create her own destiny. And so, her story continued, one of love, resilience, and the unbreakable spirit of a woman who had learned to rewrite her own narrative. Moralism. Biola's journey teaches us that resilience and self-discovery are powerful tools for overcoming life's challenges. Though her dreams seemed shattered by a failed marriage, she did not allow heartbreak to define her. Instead, she found strength in her passion, rebuilding her life one step at a time. The support of a true friend, Adebayo, showed her that love is not just about romantic fulfillment, but about being seen and accepted for who we truly are. Biola's story reminds us that the pain we experience can lead to growth, and that we have the ability to rewrite our narrative, no matter how broken we feel. The story also highlights the importance of defying societal expectations and finding happiness on our own terms. Despite the pressure to conform to others' definitions of success, such as having children or following traditional life paths, Biola chose to define success by pursuing her passions and building a life that fulfilled her. Her journey shows that the pursuit of personal happiness and self-worth is more meaningful than external validation. Ultimately, it is not the circumstances we face but the way we respond to them that shapes our destiny. Thanks for watching this story. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share to your loved one. See you in our next interesting story.